Bubba's Q, and this is 3 or 6 of these beautiful 18-ounce fully cooked boneless baby back rib racks. That means you're going to be able to eat this rib rack from one end to the other. There is absolutely zero waste. We cut one in half, and when was the last time you were able to cut a rib rack in half? Well, you couldn't, because if they have bones inside, there's no way to do that. When the bones have been removed, that sauce now has a road to travel. And look at all of the beautiful, meaty rib goodness you're going to be able to enjoy on your barbecue dinner table. And you're never going to throw away a single bone because there are no bones included. These are boneless baby back ribs. Unbelievable pack up. And you're going to love it too, because we've got two great flavors. We've got Bubba's Q original barbecue sauce flavor, and then we also have a honey barbecue sauce. So you can choose whichever you like. You should also know there is no auto delivery on these, so you may want to stock up on this purchase. The most important thing to remember here, and I'll show you this real quickly before we bring in our special guest, is I can go right through this rack of ribs with a knife. How am I able to do that? That's because there are no bones in these ribs. Look at that. Now we're shipping either August 9th or August 23rd. If you wanted August 9th, I have 600 in the 3 and 500 in the 6. And August 23rd, if you want the 3, 1,000 to go around total. In the 6, only 500. And the original is more limited all around. Joining us now is Al Bubba Baker. You remember his time with the Cleveland Browns. He also holds this very special record, I understand, for the single season most sacks. Is this correct?
Yes, it is. It's just been announced about 2 weeks ago, and it's 23 sacks in one season. And I am flattered and tickled and honored that my name's being mentioned in the Hall of Fame. I'm flattered as all get out.
We're excited for you about that, but also about these ribs, Al, and they are amazing. Our customers' favorites. This is something that is truly very special. How do you achieve a boneless rib rack?
Well, actually, I tell people this all the time. They were made out of love. My wife did not like the bones in the ribs. She did not like the messiness. And she thought that it was just too much time to make a rack of ribs. So I started working on a way, you know, with passion and with love. I wanted my wife to enjoy these wonderful ribs. So I found a way to take the bones out. Me and my figured it out. And the other thing was, David, women work so hard around the house. I wanted to give my wife some flexibility, and I wanted to give her, you know, when the kids sat down to eat, they don't care if it's 5 hours or 5 minutes. It's time to eat in the Baker household. And that's what I wanted to do for her, and we got that done, Dave.
Oh, boy, did you ever. Now, Al, this is amazing. You cut these ribs with a fork. I'm using a plastic fork today, and that lets you know how tender they are. Now, there are 2 barbecue sauces here. Let's begin with the original Bubba's Q sauce, and then we'll talk about honey barbecue. But first, let's talk about the original sauce.
Okay. So, you know, having played in the National Football League, you travel around, and we knew the cities. I knew the cities by their barbecue. The 2 main ingredients that I fell in love with was ketchup and molasses, because you could add those vinegars and the Worcestershires, and you could give it a sweet and tangy kind of a base to it. But not only that, when we get to the conversation of the boneless ribs, the deboned ribs, right? The acidity in the ketchup and the acidity in the vinegar helps to break down the ribs from the inside out when the sauce goes into those holes. So that was the main reason that I used that Kansas City base, if you will, ketchup and molasses.
Now talk to us about the honey barbecue.
So the honey, I once I found out, you know, in our restaurant back in Avon, we've now closed it, but when I found out how popular that sauce was from, you know, drafting a little bit of something from the South and a little bit of vinegar from North Carolina and the molasses from Kansas City, I thought, why would I, if it ain't broke, right? Don't fix it. So what I did was I thought, what could I do to enhance it? Add honey. How can you go wrong? Add honey.
Oh, right.
So that's what we did. We left the sauce the same, and we added 2 ingredients: honey, real honey, and black pepper to offset to keep it from being too sweet. So you got the tangy and sweet, and then you got the sweet with peppery sauce in the honey. And, you know, we haven't looked back since. We haven't been sorry. And whenever I see those holes, I get excited because I know that when the sauce goes in there where the bones once occupied, I know it's just not in there for no reason. It's in there to marinate the ribs so that when our QVC guests receive them, whether they do them in the oven, on the grill, or even in the microwave, they taste like they were outside and they did them from scratch.
Now, they come in an individual package like this, and this is something that you are able to work with really easily. You just mentioned in the oven, on the grill, or even in the microwave. Is that right?
Well, yeah, you can even do it on a flat grill. David, I recently had some leftover. My granddaughter, we make her homemade mozzarella cheese sticks when her friends come over.
Oh, nice.
I had milk, and I had flour, and I had marinated left. I cut the where the bones would have been. I rolled it up, put it in breadcrumbs, and I flash fried the ribs.
What?
So you talk about versatility, man.
Oh.
I went crazy. The little girls always ask my granddaughter, when can we go back to your grandfather's condo?
And get the fried ribs. This is what's so amazing. Yeah. Don't miss out on this. I do want to remind you that this price will expire at the end of our show, which is now just over an hour away. We've already taken orders for 700 sets. Let me tell you what is available to you. You can choose either a 3 or a 6 in the original or the honey barbecue, delivering 8, 9, or 823. Now, if you want 8, 9 in the 3 count, honey barbecue, $250 original, $125. Now, if you want the 8, 9 and the 6 count original, honey barbecue, $300, and the original, $150. Now, if you want August 23rd delivery in the 3 count, honey barbecue, $540 original, $280, and the 823 shipment of 6 rib racks in the honey barbecue, $300, and the original, $160 to go around. Now, when we get these at home, Al, they'll be frozen. Is it better to let these thaw before we heat them up?
Absolutely. I would let them thaw because when they're thawed, David, they caramelize. You can cook them from frozen, but you're not going to get that color and that charred taste that we love so much. That's why we barbecue. That's why we grill. And that's why we went through all that passion and that love to bring this rib to you that's not only fully cooked, it's fully deboned, and my wife always says they're fully amazing.
Well, I'm trying the honey barbecue now, and this looks amazing and smells even better. Let's go ahead and have a look. You know I'm starting to move a little bit. Smoky, sweet, tender, and worthy of the happy dance. There it is. Come on now. Get it. Get it, get it, get it. I want you to get this before this price expires. End of our show, and 900 of these are now gone. I love that honey barbecue. So good. So this is really what's so exciting. You've got a great opportunity now to bring home fully cooked ribs. You thaw, you heat, you eat. Stock your freezer, and I don't believe we have any out of delivery on this, so it's important to get as many of these as you can or need. And now, Al's done all the work for you. You'll just collect all the compliments. Oh, and heat up the baked beans and the mac and cheese and the coleslaw, because you're going to need all that to serve along with your ribs, and maybe a little side of cornbread just for good measure. All of this comes together for you at a great price, but only until 2:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Al Bubba Baker, good to have you back, sir.
Thank you, David. It's wonderful to be on the show.
Always good to see you, buddy, and take good care. Give your family our best. All right, time now for a hot pick, and this hot pick, again, hot is the operative term here. We're talking about a great machine called the K-Duo from Keurig. Here we go. So imagine one machine that will brew